race fans, Ryan Aho here from the One to Go Show, bringing you our next episode number 2 of the BuyRaceShirts.com modified power rankings. Now, before we get into that, we're going to have a little recap from this past week's events. A lot of racing to happen. I get it. It's on Friday. Probably already happened. Racing happened last night. Going to try to get these a little earlier. Do yourselves a favor, right? If you don't have a subscription to Dirt Race Central, you need to get one, right? It's $19.99 a month, right? That's like half price of a lot of the other streaming platforms, and they have way more races to watch than most of the other streaming platforms. So Ben, John, and the whole crew at Dirt Race Central, they do quality productions. They have great content, and all the WISSOTA action, the official streaming platform of WISSOTA Racing and of the One to Go Show. So, little recap here from this past week. Let's go to Minnesota first. Fiesta City Speedway, Montevideo, Minnesota. First night out, first win. Matt Gilbertson parking it in victory lane. Light car count, a little surprised. I figured there's going to be a few more, probably some people farming. But Gilbertson he unloads. He's an automatic contender. Great guy, great race car driver. Going to give a donkey award. Brian Hobbit, okay? He's out farming, working, right? Being a responsible adult. There ain't no time to be a responsible adult. Come on, guy. I mean, I know you got 2 kids, a family, a house, and all that to pay for, but this racing season, I'm just kidding, right? Hobbin took the week off, which he would have been one of the contenders there with Gilbertson, but he said he'll be back in action next week. Granite City Motor Park, Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. Well, how about this? Jake Smith getting it done. So he won the opener in the Midwest mod, rookie in the A-Mod division, his first career win in the modifieds, and he was gonzo. He kind of drove off into the sunset. Second podium in the A-Mod. He got a third in there as well. But Jake Smith, I'm telling you what, congratulations, kid. 18, maybe 17, 18 years old, already winning races in the A-Mod. Kind of fun watching this. His dad, Bob Smith, was a good driver back in the day as well. But congratulations on that first win. Halberline Speedway over in Proctor. Jody Belfi got it done. Brandon Kopp, incidentally, another engine issue. Not sure what happened. He didn't start the feature. It didn't sound like it was anything too major. But Belfi, unbelievable, beautiful equipment there. Parking it in victory lane. Getting it done right out of the gate. And couple nights, little struggle there, but he had a lot of people to thank. It's worth jumping on Dirt Race Central, watching his victory lane interview, because it sounds like he tore some equipment up. The folks down at MB thanked his wife. There's people kind of running around, making things happen to get back out there. Hard work pays off. Belfi is going to be a contender this weekend at the Mod Nationals. Hibbing Raceway, Broking got her done. No, not Johnny Broking. Dad whooping his ass again. That's just the way it is. Bob Broking, great race over there. So Bob Broking kind of split. He made some pretty sweet moves to take the lead. He started front row, slipped back, made a few moves to take the lead, carving the high side. Who gets second? Tyler Kittner. Tyler Kittner smooth on the bottom. He was rolling up next to him lap after lap after lap. And I thought maybe he was going to throw a slider, but Bob was just carving it a little too hard in and never really opened the door for a slider. Great win for Bob Broking. Viking Speedway, the high-flying half-mile in Alexandria, another young gun in the modified that is really fun to watch, the 33X of Justin Fremming. I watched him in the Midwest mods. Super impressive, fun to watch. He comes up to the Silver 1000 last year in Proctor, wins that. I was like, holy cow, where did this kid come from? And I tell you, he hasn't had a lot of shows in the A-Mod, but he's been in the front every single night. Ogilvy Raceway. This one's pretty cool as well. Second generation driver from Superior, Wisconsin. The 9 ride of Brady Utanen. Al Utanen, ton of wins. Won championships and races. He's had a great career. Brady Utanen, the last few years, watching him in the Midwest mods, super fun to watch, right? He's kind of that guy that's got that it factor. He'll go high, low, diamond, slide job, crossover. He's kind of versatile. Kind of reminds me of watching Daryl Nelson in the A-Mod division and in the late models, but mostly in the A-Mods when I think of this. But he looked incredibly smooth. Almost won in Superior and Sobraski slipped by him. But over at Ogilvy, he did not let that happen. Got out to a big lead, and here comes Sobraski, here comes Wagaman, and they gave him all he could handle, and the kid had some great poise, got his first career win, and super excited for him. I expect to see a lot out of the 9. River City Speedway up in North Dakota, Grand Forks to be exact, the 1 TPO, Tyler Peterson, first of the year for the 2-time defending national champion. Kind of surprising. Hasn't had a lot of shows in. Not quite as dominant looking, but it's just going to happen. He's going to win a bunch of races. And these little bull rings, Grand Forks Casino, he unloads, he's in the conversation. That's how it works. Tyler Peterson getting it done. Let's go over to South Dakota here. So we'll go to Casino first, because, I mean, one would think you go to the Casino Speedway, Tyler Peterson's probably going to be the guy to beat. Joe Thomas and Dale Eames give him a little bit of an ass whooping is what happened. Joe Thomas was Gonzo, second-generation driver. His dad, Corky Thomas, legendary career over there, mostly Fargo area. But Joe Thomas flat out getting it done. TPO was like a half a straightaway back in third. I'm like, did he break? Maybe he did. I'm not really sure, but I was pretty surprised. And a couple guys getting a little faster over there. So Joe Thomas with a big win. Speaking of a couple guys getting a little faster, the 4J of Lee Gross over at the Brown County Speedway Opener Casino. Of course, these races here, you can catch these on Dirt Race Central. This one right here, race of the week, as far as the modifieds go. You need to jump on to Dirt Race Central, go to Brown County Speedway, and Lee Gross, watch him with precision drive to the front. He started in the 4th row. He gets to second. He tracks down the winningest driver in the history of South Dakota, Kent Arment. Tracks him down. They get into lap traffic. Arment goes to the bottom and doesn't slide the lapper, leaves the door wide open, and Gross poked it right through the middle of them. Had to give a little right side romance there to the lap car, but you got to do what you do. But that's an impressive win. You win from the 4th row and drive by people like Ames and Stearns and Kent Arment. That's his second of the year. Lee Gross looking really sporty. Speaking of Stearns, he went to the Miller Central Speedway, first of the year for Superman over at Miller for the defending track champion over there, former national champion. Mike Stearns going to have a pretty solid year. He's not quite as up on the wheel as like a TPO or a Lee Gross is, but he's super smooth, super consistent, and he's going to get his wins. Now, let's head over to Wisconsin. ABC Raceway in Ashland, the defending track champ, 9 wins last year. Brandon Kopp hitting pay dirt over in Ashland, Wisconsin. A great win for him over there. He's had a couple good nights and a couple engine issues, so we'll see if he can kind of rectify that a little bit. Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin. Adam Hensel parking in a victory lane. I'll look down through here. I feel like there should have been one more modified. Maybe not. No, that was the bus races, so there was no makeup feature. But old Hensey getting it done there. This kid here's run supers, late models, modifieds. He's been good in everything he's raced in. Doesn't really run like a completely full schedule, but that 44 is fun to watch. And Adam Hensel, your winner at New Richmond. This kid right here is going to be a star, right? Eagle Valley Speedway, Jim Falls, Wisconsin, second-generation driver, second straight win for the 14-year-old from Chippewa Falls, Caden Blazer, winning the Gary Blazer Memorial special win. I believe that's his grandpa, so when you can go out and win that memorial race, that's a big deal. 2 in a row for a 14-year-old in a name odd. You better keep an eye on this name. He's going to win a lot of races. Gondik Lost Speedway in Superior. We talked about that one. Brady Utanen almost having it done. Shane Sobraski taking it from him towards the end. Kind of a neat deal, though. So Lauren Inman, a buddy of mine, kind of put something together in a little competition, right? I mean, Jody Belfi, Vikings fan. Brady Utanen, Packers fan. He's like, how can we do a little competition? So here's how it works. They're going to tally throughout the year, right? How many cars got passed, and whoever passes the most cars is the winner. Okay. Now they give a little bit of a handicap here. So Jody gets 1 point for every car he passes in the features. And Brady Utanen gets 1.5 cars. I think that might have been a mistake, right? Because as fast as he was here this weekend, he's going to pass cars. So, needless to say, Jody DNF'd and Brady technically finished where he started, right? And with that said, they were 0-0. Well, at the end of the regular season, they have to start invitational season with the other team's colors. So, for instance, if Brady Utenon has more points from passing, then Jody Belfi has to start the season with a Green Bay Packers car. Jody, don't do that to me. You can't let that happen. All right. You can't let that happen. Now, let's go to the Red Cedar Speedway in Menominee. Second straight win, drove around the legendary Buzzy Adams to get it done from fourth, the 3 junior of Shane Halapka. And I haven't seen a list. Maybe Ben at Dirt Race Central can help me with this. Shane Halapka's got to be right near the top of all-time winners at the Red Cedar Speedway, most of them coming in a Midwest mod. He knows how to get around that place, and he's proven it with back-to-back wins. Rice Lake Speedway in Rice Lake. The makeup feature. I thought Kennedy Swan was going to win this deal. So if you're on the Kennedy Swan watch right now, she got third in this deal. She led a good chunk of that race. Buzzy got by her and broke. I'm not sure what happened to Buzzer. And then she ended up slipping back. She picked up a push a little bit. Guy that's kind of helping her out, Mike Anderson, guy that's had a great career, he took the win. He won the makeup feature, but Kennedy Swan got third. In the main event, okay, Buzzy, because he broke on the first one, got to start on the front row. And when that happens at Rice Lake, you just don't need to talk about it because it's over. So Buzzy Adams getting it done, but 14-year-old Caden Blazer with a pair of wins, right? He got second in that one. And he wasn't right on Buzzy, but he wasn't too far off him. So Buzzy's going to get a little competition from the old 14-year-old and the 16-year-old girl over there, Kennedy Swan, because she looks sporty. And I'm going to throw one in here. Wouldn't normally talk about USRA like USRA. I just don't have enough time to watch all the WISSOTA racing. But they had the 4th annual Carl Fensky Memorial. And if you've been a racing historian or if you've been going to the races for a number of years, he was one of the greats down in southern Minnesota, passed here a couple of years back, 3,999 to win. Rodney Sanders getting it done. Rodney Sanders, of course, married to Tim McMahon's daughter, Morgan, which Tim McMahon's other daughter's married to Buzzy, so it all kind of ties in together here, right? But Rodney Sanders, the old Rocket Man, parking it in Victory Lane at Mississippi Thunder. So let's jump into it. Our buyraceshirts.com one to go show, modified power rankings. Now, just to clarify this, I'm nothing against these other sanctions, but I'm not coupling in IMCA guys and USMTS and USRA into the power rankings. This is primarily a WISSOTA event or drivers that race mostly WISSOTA type stuff. So that's what it is. But before we do that, a shout out, buyraceshirts.com. If you need apparel, hats, shirts, hoodies, jackets, you name it, whatever you need for your race team, for your sponsors, whatever it is, where do you want to go? Go to a place that supports racing, somebody part of the racing community, buyraceshirts.com. Check them out online. So at number 10, maybe a little premature, but it's my show and I can do what I want, right? Brady Utenon at number 10. So was it beginner's luck? I don't think so, because I've watched this kid race in a B-mod and he's talented. He's a flat-out wheelman. He's a good driver. He's got a little chip on his shoulder, a little attitude problem. Kind of reminds me of me. Kind of like that, right? But the fact is, he's going to be fun to watch, right? And I'm excited about that. Why? Because Al Utenon's been around for a long time. He's been a hell of a good race car driver. But guess what? The next 20 years, we get to watch another Utenon probably win a lot of races. It's going to be Brady. So I have him at number 10. At number 9, the Hermantown Hammer, Daryl Nelson, another one that's going to ride off into the sunset sooner rather than later. His kid, Caden, his kid, right, is absolutely a wheelman as well, right? He's running really well in the limited late model division, been on the podium, right? So going to be fun to watch the little Hammer in the limited late model. But Daryl Nelson not really running a lot of late modified stuff to start the season, but once he gets rolling, right, he's going to be there. So Daryl Nelson at number 9. At number 8, we're going to put a 14-year-old kid up there. This is Caden Blazer. The eye test says he can wheel a race car. He won races in the Midwest Mod. He jumped in, back-to-back win at Jimtown. He got second at Rice Lake and was like legit fast. He's a rocket ship, got a great future ahead of him. At number 7, Dale Ames. A 4th and a pair of seconds to start the season. A career season last year. He won the Triple Crown out there in South Dakota. Question is, will he have a letdown year? Right, Lee Gross is getting faster. Joe Thomas is getting faster. You got TPO out there. Arment, is he gonna decline, or is he gonna carry some momentum and have an even better year this year? I'm excited to see. At number 6, somebody that's going to be a thorn in his side, Lee Gross. He looks impressive, fun to watch. Sprint car driver, right? He's kind of got that you just bring it into the corner. Kind of reminds me of old school Kent Arment. He reminds me of TPO. He's got that kind of driving style. Winning from 7th, ultra impressive. A win at Fergus. Lee Gross at number 6. At number 5, Shane Halapka. One of the winningest drivers ever at the Red Cedar Speedway. Not sure why he missed Rice Lake. I'm not sure what happened there, if he had other stuff going on, but he wasn't there from what I saw. But Halapka at number 5. At number 4, we're going to go with the North Shore Nightmare, Jody Belfi. First couple nights, not great. He had a couple, he had a DNF, and can't control that. That is what it is. Then he won at Proctor. Write this down right now. He's going to win one of the 3 at a minimum at the Mod Nationals this weekend. Jody Belfi at number 4. At number 3, Johnny Broking. Something ain't right with the 45J. I probably have him too high right now. He doesn't even look fast. I'm not sure what's wrong with the car. It just doesn't. It don't look right. It don't look fast. But they're going to figure it out. It's Johnny Broking. They got a great family. They got a great racing background. They got a good support system there at Lethal. They're having some issues here, but I would have to say sooner rather than later. Now, keep in mind, Mod Nationals this weekend, you may consider figuring it out sooner rather than later because you got some money on the line here this weekend. At number 2, the 1 TPO, Tyler Peterson. Going to slide him back just a little bit, right? He did get a win at Grand Forks, absolutely got his tail whooped at Casino, which does not happen often, right? Back-to-back natties, he's going to get a bunch of wins. It's Tyler Peterson, that's what he does. Should we be concerned, right? Should we be concerned? Is it over, right? Is it over? When you get whooped that bad at Casino by a long ways, should you be concerned? Probably a little too early to say that, but I have him at number 2. At number 1, I have the Iron Man, Shane Sobraski. Actually looks better in the modified now than he does in the super stock. He owned the super stock class the last couple of years, all top 2s on the weekend, right? And the fact is, he looks, like I said, he looks better in the modified. That JMR chassis fitting his driving style very, very good. And I tell you, he's just not off the podium. Shane Sobraski is like the most consistent guy in racing. And it's weird because in the modified, he doesn't look kind of like the t-shirt selling guy, right? The banging the boards. That's not him, but he's so smooth. He's so smooth. And he had a great weekend this past weekend. So at number 1 right now in the buyraceshirts.com, 1 to go show modified power rankings, the Iron Man, Shane Sobraski.